Hello everybody and welcome to Week in Technology or Week in Tech. This week we have another guest with us following on the heels of last week, Wei Chuan Beng, the president of PCOM, who was on to talk about PCOM's observations and comments on the budget for 2009. And this week we've got Koh Lee Cheng, who is the newly elected also president. Team is president, not chairman, right? Or Supreme Overlord. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
President.
Okay, yeah, president of the team, which is the Technopreneurial Association of Malaysia. And she is the also obviously, I think, not obviously to viewers who wouldn't know, but you're also the first female, right, to helm the post. Fantastic. Should have come a lot sooner, I think, right? But team's what, 7 years old now this year?
Yes, around there.
Okay, great. So that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
So okay, Lee Cheng, you're in the hot seat today. So we just want to quickly get to the chase and talk about some of the budget views that team has. I was quite pleased that you felt that while in general team supports the thrust of the budget, the impact on the technology sector, however, has been minimal. So which is good because you're obviously saying that more can be done, especially as the primary objective is to drive the nation towards a high economy, right? High income economy. So we can talk about some of that later because you've got a whole series of points, suggestions of what more you think can be done. Let's talk about the good first, which is obviously the individual tax relief is the first point that you all made on the broadband subscription. It's interesting to note that you said team had proposed this in the past, and it's only now that they introduced it. But again, I guess better late than never, right?
Yes, definitely.
And it's interesting that it's for 3 years, right, from 2010 till 2012. So
yeah.
I don't know, when they said 2012, I'm thinking, do they mean January 2012, which means it's 2 years, or it's December 2012, man?
I think we are not sure on the detail of how they're going to be implemented, but I think what we're really happy is that most of us, our technology rides on the availability of this broadband, and that everybody are on it. So it's nice that the government is providing the easy platform and access.
I mean, for those who qualify to pay taxes, it's good. Yeah. So what about those who don't? And I think PCOM had a point that they would like to see even people who don't pay taxes, to qualify for some, some help there. But that's one. And then the other one we're looking at is on the establishment of the creative content industry. You guys have said that it's excellent, you fully support it, but it has to be clear that these are loans and not grants, because you think otherwise it would be a bad initiative, right? So why do you think giving people loans instead of grants? I mean, as entrepreneurs, you always want other people's money, so I was quite surprised to see this.
No, I don't think it is that we wanted it to be a loan rather than a grant, but I think it has to be made clear whether it is a loan or a grant. Either way, it's great because if you are doing something on creative content, in any ICT, in fact, it's very difficult to go to a traditional bank and say, I want to have a loan and to do this project. So now if you have one that is looking at it, our more concern is the mechanism of how this is going to be deployed out. And especially, I think, Bank Simpanan is not...
Yeah, I didn't even know they were still around, viewers, It's like, what do you mean they're still there?
So I think that's a little bit of concern.
Okay.
I would have thought people like perhaps Malaysian Debt Venture could be a better vehicle. They're very familiar with project financing in ICT technology space.
Of course, yeah. So it is puzzling. I mean, maybe they think they want to create a wider group of people who are familiar with the industry, but on their, that could be one reason, which is the only logical reason I could think of. No other reason, unless they think the people at Bank Simpanan are not doing, have got a lot of spare time on their hands, I don't know. But having said that, my first bank account, was opened at Bank Simpanan.
That's where Bank Simpanan is well known for. This is where we grew up, as they are a savings bank, not for business loan, and not in the technology space loan. So I think that's where we are.
So there is concern
on that part.
Team is concerned.
And I think they're supposed to,
or as we are in that value. Sorry.
They're supposed to also push out the facility out in a very short time.
Yeah, exactly.
So which means that you have another issue of being able to quickly get up to speed.
Yeah, to speed and be comfortable giving out the money. Otherwise, they're going to be scared and sit on the money. Yeah. Okay, good. Maybe that's something we need to keep an eye on, right? I mean, within 6 months, see what they're doing.
But what's great is at least the government is now aware there's a big need, a special loan for a special kind of environment.
Exactly, Okay, great. And then there's the soft loans of 1.5 billion, right, for companies that supply and utilize green technology, would affect from January of next year. So obviously that's a policy you support. But does team itself have a specific green technology subgroup yet?
Yes, we have. We actually have a council that looks after the council member that looks specifically on green technology, and we're trying to see how smaller technopreneurs could actually now benefit from this space. So, you know, we are really seriously looking. It's just like when you talk about biotech in the early days, people are trying to find where is the gap, where is the opportunity. Green tech is very similar. Yeah, especially I think in terms of ICT, there are a lot of things that we can angle it towards as green technology.
Of course. Okay, great. And then obviously nobody's going to say the offer of netbooks, right? And with 2 years of broadband service, up a cap of 50 ringgit a month for university students is a bad thing. It is a great thing. It is a good thing. I note the point that you said you hope that by university, the initiative covers students at all institutions of higher education, right? Public, private, and not just like the public universities, right? Because they then will come out with fine-tuning of the budget broad statements, right? So right now this has got a lot of people excited, a lot of parents excited too. So hopefully it's obviously for even private school colleges, right? And not just those which have the word university in their name, right? Is that also something you all are pointing out here? It seems like that's what you're also saying, right?
Well, I think we would like to see it to be covered out to broader...
Anybody? Broader, I mean, you don't even mention university. I also note here that you said it should be extended to secondary school students, right? Okay, why is that then? Just to get...
Well, I think what we want to see as well is in terms of access into ICT and people that are using it cut across rather than just very specific. But we have got to, I suppose, start somewhere. But we would like to see it to be cover over a bigger area.
I'm just thinking the university one could be that because when you go to university, the feeling is that the students leave home and therefore they're on their own, right? And then if it's free and then you give them a netbook, they will be able to afford it. Rather than, try to come up with the money for, a 2,000 ringgit netbook and then, paying for broadband. That's the only reason I can think of. Because if you're at home, a lot of home people who are paying taxes will already have that 500, a tax relief from next year onwards anyway. But still it's good, but I think you're right. Definitely for all universities, not just public sector universities, and even those which are colleges or even polytechs, right? We've got so many polytechs around the country, so. Okay, well, we'll see if that is further fine-tuned or not. And then I like this part about what more you'd like to see, which is, because you want to see clear policies on how, right, government intends to create a high-income, high-value economy, right? And you speak about, of course, education programs and a revamped education system. Very, not bold, but, very encompassing, right? Your wish list there. So
I think what we want to see is really people coming out, expectations, I think which people are now looking into whether you're market ready. So that's the standards of your education when you come out. I think we want them to be able to also, what do you call that? When you come out, you don't rely on also work for people. And entrepreneurship, I think that's where it has been encouraged in a lot. But what we also want to see is how do we find niche where each and one of us would be able to demand higher skill, high pay.
Of course,
So that's where I think with the proper education or to meet the market, we all have to move up to a certain level.
Is team playing its role to engage with ministry and with a particular university at least, and let's see if we can do something well here and then say, look, this really works and spread it out. Or is this you all just being like most people and just throwing out good ideas? Say, you come up with the details of it. So how responsible are you being in helping out here?
We always have spots of so-called little projects that we are trying to work on. Currently, I think I can think of two that I think some of our council people are working on. But I think because still it's in the background, it's not something that we can talk about. But we would like to be, team likes to be in a position where to proactively get something done, at least to showcase, at least to prove, and we would like to drive it